Less is definitely more when it comes to your home recording studio. I'll explain next on this week's DeWeese Directive. Hey there, how are you doing? I'm Bill DeWeese, and welcome to this week's DeWeese Directive. A couple of quick announcements. Number one, coming up this Wednesday, November the 4th, and if you're watching this at a later date, you might want to look up the video. It'll be posted here on YouTube. I'll be doing a webinar with David Ciccarelli, who is the CEO of Voices.com. And there's been a lot of controversy as of late regarding their pricing policy or their rate policy in regards to paying voice talent. And so David will be explaining their professional service department, how that works, and be answering questions that you provide. And make sure that you are on that webinar if you have questions. And if you don't have the registration link, you want more information, simply drop me an email at voiceoverexpert@gmail.com, and I'll make sure that you get the registration link. As a matter of fact, I'll go you one better. I'll put it down below here in the description of the video. And that's coming up Wednesday, November 4th at noon Eastern Time. So, and again, if you can't make it, you can check out the video here on this channel. Also coming up very soon, how to run your voiceover back office, the processes, the procedures, the organizational end, the administrative end that so many of we creative types wrestle with. My daughter Mallory has been my full-time administrative assistant for 7 years now. And not only is she a talented and successful voiceover talent, but she is very much a project management mind. And she has my office running as smoothly as you can imagine, which has made me far more profitable. And that webinar is coming up very soon, so be listening and watching for details on that. So today's question is, or maybe I should say the statement is this: less is more when it comes to a voice talent's home recording studio. Let me explain why. It seems that human nature is to want to enhance our voiceover recordings. And I say that from experience, coming from a broadcast background. I worked in radio for over 2 decades. And if there's one thing that I know, and that is performers behind a microphone love to hear the sound of their voice compressed. That makes it big and full and booming. And there's something about hearing that makes you feel bigger and more important, and that you have a bigger, more full and richer voice. And when it comes to your home studio, it could be very tempting to put a lot of gear and software that would allow you to manipulate the audio in a lot of different ways. And I also say this from experience and working and coaching a lot of voiceover talent. Many voiceover talent over-process their audio. Less is more, because remember this, most of your clients that you work with as a voice talent are production companies who like to do a lot of that post-production on their own. They'll take your raw audio or nearly raw audio, and they like to add compression or EQ or whatever the processing may be to better match the video or the final project that they're putting it to. So my suggestion is this, and we all want to sweeten our sound. We want it to sound as good and competitive as possible. But keep in mind that the most competitive thing you can do, or the greatest thing that you can do to make your audio sound more competitive, is to have a quiet, very quiet, and acoustically well-treated space to record in. That will go much further than any processing, than any equipment that you'll purchase. That's where it all begins. After that, if you get involved in processing, you want it to be minimal. Perhaps a little bit of soft compression, perhaps a little bit of EQ to add a little more presence to your voice so that it cuts through and that it's not muddy or that it's not harsh on the high end, but that it has a nice presence to it. And also noise reduction software used minimally. Again, if you're in a loud space, the best noise reduction software can only do so much and can actually even draw a lot of attention to how bad the rest of your audio is. It can actually degrade the original signal. So again, less is more. Remember, your space is the most important chain of the sound chain of your studio. The quietness and how well acoustically treated it is. So resist the temptation to compress the voice a lot and to EQ the voice a lot and to do things that you believe make you sound better when in case you might be hurting your chances of winning auditions. I hope you find this tip helpful. If so, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share with your friends, and I look forward to talking to you again real soon.